Thanks for joining us for another great WMXI with Michael Pohl and Gene Valentino. After this episode, don't forget to check out mypillow.com/Gene V for up to 80% off over 250 quality American products that you can get right now with free shipping included. So check out mypillow.com/Gene V, shop to your heart's content, and enjoy up to 80% off all your orders and free shipping now.
All right, so Gene, let's move on to politics, I guess. What's on your mind this week?
Well, we're just taking a look at all the observations as 2023 came to a close, and now here we are rolling into 2024. More attempts to destabilize this nation are working in some senses, are not working in another sense. I feared things had to get worse before they get better, but I think America is resilient enough to realize that, and there we do have many patriots in this nation, but we could sure look for more. Look out for those woke candidates at the local level and push back. Support the good legislators and the good leaders at the local level, all the way down to sheriffs and constables and clerks of the court and anyone at the local level. It's as important as the amount of time we spend whining about issues related to Trump or Biden. Michael, we need to make sure good government starts at the local level too, and that we not acquiesce and become passive to thinking that we have no say, we have no strength, we have no ability to take our nation in a positive direction going forward. There's some real stories out there, Michael, that really concern me for 2024. We've got to make sure that even though Biden brought us a crisis, that we are resilient enough to maintain our ability and physical capabilities of expressing the right of self-expression and free speech. And we have to then turn back to our leaders and try to make sure they reinstitute good financial policy so that we get our interest rates and our economy back in shape. You know, government has one good role that they can go forward with in 2024. It's called incentives. Considering the billions and trillions of dollars misspent, we definitely can legislate in America to create financial incentives to stimulate the economy. It's the economy, stupid. It was a Democrat that said that, not a Republican, James Carville. It was the economy, stupid.
Yeah, Louisiana guy.
Yeah. And, you know, if we're not talking about the economy, let's get back to the border. The border is the biggest crisis. And next Wednesday, the House of Representatives will be considering rules of impeachment or an impeachment hearing to create rules for the takedown or the removal of Alejandro Mayorkas, border czar, that has turned out to be a complete disgrace for this nation. They see the crisis, Michael, and it's not a matter of missing out or making a misstep. You know, I'm working for my boss and I do something wrong. I hope he doesn't fire me if I've screwed up by accident. But this isn't that situation. This is an intentional wrongdoing. If it's intentional wrongdoing, 300,000 plus people coming over that border in the month of December just passed, and you're not going to tell me that's an act of treason? A treasonous act, the consequences of which are punishable by death. Do I suggest that Alejandro Mayorkas be punished for death? Well, you tell me what his intentions were. If he was intentionally taking down this nation by trying to inject this nation with illegals. And here's the other thought that came to mind recently, Michael. Well, we are such a giving nation, and we've done so much to be transparent in our giving, whether you're a member of NATO or not, doesn't matter. America, by its very nature, has been very giving people in so many ways. And we're doing that in overseas and in many nations overseas. But hello, is there no one out there that sees what's happening to our southern border? Would someone overseas step up and be as caring and giving to America and help us protect that border? That police officer shot this morning. I do not know the circumstances. Let me say
Yesterday.
that first. But might it have been exacerbated by a weak border policy?
Don't know. You know, we don't
Okay,
know anything.
so yeah, we have a situation where we are allowing more illegals to come in. We're less concerned about even if they have a driver's license to pull them over, not to mention insurance on the vehicle, like days gone by. The officer intends to pull the person over on a traffic stop, and he can't even speak English. What do you say about reinstating a constitutional amendment that brings back English as the language in America? How about a constitutional amendment that says it's a crime if our legislators do not protect the border? How about a constitutional amendment that mandates that a specific policy of citizenship be established, not to mention voting? And how about a voting procedure that applies uniformly, nationwide, in all 50 states? You know, we have the election process in 50 states around the nation managed by the Secretary of State and the supervisors of elections at the county and city levels. But the fact of the matter is there's one name on each and every ballot in the nation, consistent nationwide, and that is the President and Vice President of the United States. Therefore, why should there not be a common rule of how we vote for that person nationwide? It cannot be mired in such confusion in an election process in 50 states. You know, Florida, if I can boast over here in Pensacola for a minute, Michael, Florida, you know, the last election at 20, we had that election wrapped up before 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, and we've got a bit of confusion with two different time zones in the state of Florida. But we still got our act together and got a certified election tallied before midnight on that same day. And yet other states in the nation couldn't figure it out 2 months after the election.
They don't want to figure it out.
You're right. You're right. I think it's time that America step up and make sure that the people we're electing, it's on us, folks. The people we're electing, if this is truly a constitutional republic with a background in democracy, if we're a constitutional republic, we need to step up and step out to make sure our local officials are doing the job, to ensure that our federal officials are doing the job. And that's where I think the future is going to be in 2024. I'm concerned about the amount of instability worldwide, and I'm concerned about the amount of sleeper cells who could be your neighbor or my neighbor ready to activate. So if we take an action against Hamas or Hezbollah over in the Middle East and help Israel defend itself, might it be that the retaliation is right in our own backyards with people we don't know who have crossed the border illegally? That's my concern, Michael.
Yeah, it is a big concern. And look, we know this because, well, we had Congressman Ezel on not yesterday, day before yesterday, and he is on the committee, by the way, that is going to look at in Mayorkas. He said that there were 300,000 migrants that were encountered at the border in December. That's the highest ever. Now, 300,000 people, that's like 3 large stadiums, maybe 4, full of people. And that's unbelievable, the number. And look, these aren't just like poor Mexicans that are looking to come to work in the United States. I mean, we're talking about people from every country on the planet. So it's pretty obvious what's going on here. Pretty obvious that the world knows that all you have to do is get across that border and you're good to go here in the United States. And
we can't sustain that forever. I think there's going to be some serious pushback. Those are some of my observations for 2024. The Jews were very big supporters of the Democratic Party, but I think they have a real problem now, considering how the Democrats have been so passive and waffling over their support with Hezbollah and Hamas. Look what happened to Claudine Gay. Finally got forced to resign from her position as president of Harvard, and
yeah.
we have a situation where the ship will correct itself. But like we've said before, in the Alcoholics Anonymous program, there's a saying, sometimes things need to get worse before they get better. And I regret that may be so here.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think it is, actually. We're going to have a rough year this year. It's an election year. They're going to be pulling everything out of the hat that they can to try to stay in power, that is Democrats. And we know that they have no morals or scruples, so they'll use anything they can to obtain power and continue to hold it. The House Republicans went down to the border yesterday, another press show. And a lot of people say, hey, let's don't do any press shows. Let's don't do any more of this stuff. Let's do something about it. But, the problem is that the national news media doesn't really hold accountable this administration. And therefore, Republicans have to do a lot of these so that the message gets out. So I think it was a good idea to do it. Congressman Ezell went down there last year. He skipped this one, but there were 50 members down there, and they were shocked at what they saw. Do you know they didn't find the first immigrant coming across the border while they were there? Isn't that something?
Oh, what a concept.
They could stop it when they do.
Yeah, they'd spend another $1 billion to divert them back to Eagle Pass so we wouldn't see them.
Right, like cleaning up San Francisco. It could be cleaned up if somebody decides to do it. All right. Thank you for joining us, Gene. Appreciate it. Have a good weekend.
You too. Good luck over there.